Hi, and welcome back to Armchair Pundits. You got myself, as usual, James. You got Leon. You got Daryl. I would say how you doing, guys, but I know Leon's under the weather like I am, so do excuse us if we are coughing a little bit. But we'll do our best to get through this and actually sound normal. But how you guys been other than that?
Yeah, it's been a not a great weekend, I guess, for either of our teams.
Nah.
But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Well, as I like to do, as you guys were at your game, we'll start off with you two. Obviously, good game from what I saw, but obviously an unhappy result from a Tottenham point of view. What went wrong?
I'll let Leon say this one because I was a bit mad after the United match, so I'll let Leon take this
Boy,
one.
we started off with missing a couple of good chances early. Son, in particular, missing two really, really good opportunities to put us in the lead. And then after that, it started to go downhill once Dyer tried to score an own goal with a terrible back pass to Lloris. Don't know what he was doing. And then from then on, it just started to go downhill in the first half. The first goal, I mean, Lloris is complaining that it was a foul, but it was really his mistake which led to it. I don't really know what he was trying to do. He was clearly trying to control the ball, and it obviously went loose. And in a way, Callum Wilson was just standing his ground. Lloris has to try and get around him or do something to ensure that he gets to the ball first, or just clear your lines, and he didn't. And it's not the first mistake that Lloris has made like this, and I think since 2017 he's conceded always been at fault for the most goals by any goalkeeper apart from Jordan Pickford, which says a lot. I mean, he saved us in so many games in the past, but I think now is really time to start really thinking about who the next goalkeeper is going to be. But defensively again, for the second goal, getting depossessed by being under pressure from, I think it was Sessegnon got caught in possession by Almiron, and he ends up scoring from that. So for me, another poor performance in a way. Wasn't as poor as the Man United game. We created chances in this game, unlike the Man U game, but not good enough. And you can see that Conte is struggling without having Kulusevski. There's no Højbjerg in the game. Romero wasn't there, and Richarlison being injured. We don't really have the options that Conte really wants to bring on. So I think after the game he was mentioning about transfer windows and needing more players. It goes without saying, we still got a lot of people that were here in the regime that didn't work under Pochettino. So there's still work to be done to fix the squad. And yeah, it's gonna take a bit more time. I think we've got to be patient. So it's gonna be frustrating until we see real change. So I'll let Daryl continue.
Yeah, for me, that transfer window talk, I think there's some shots fired at some of those players that really just not making the grade.
Who's that? Who do you think? Who's he firing shots at?
Boy, you could name anyone in our team right now the way that we're performing at the moment. It's not good enough, to be honest with you. The disappointing thing for me is we started so well in the game. We created chances. We had chances. Son has got to put those chances away, especially the one where he tries to chip it. That's not normally what he does, and he did it in such soft fashion that the goalkeeper had the time to readjust his save and save it. Put that away at home. We've got a chance of just getting the crowd involved, putting them under pressure, getting 1-0 up, and going on from there in the game. But yeah, it's disappointing. Dyer, like Leon said, not only did he try to score that own goal, also when Lloris comes out, don't know why he doesn't kick it. Like Leon said, he's trying to control it, but with his knees, I don't know what he's doing. But like normal, Lloris has a great game against United, even though we lost. only one that came off the pitch with his head held high. And then you go and do something stupid like that. Just come out and clear the ball. Just pull it out. You're not about that life. You're not a Brazilian goalkeeper like the two best goalkeepers in the league. Let's be honest with you. And furthermore, Dyer's their hands up complaining. Play to the whistle, bro. Track back, cover the line. You know what the striker's going to try and do. Track back, cover the line.
It's not even that. It's you're in the era of VAR, so you know the referee's not going to blow it more than likely. So you get back to the line and then you deal with it afterwards. But stopping like that, I felt your pain when I was watching it. Yeah, I think the worst part was when you watch it is Lloris makes no attempt to even properly get back. He actually throws himself on the floor. He throws his legs up in the air and arms down, and you're thinking, come on, man.
He's begging a foul, bro. He's begging a foul, and it wasn't a foul. He's come out, he's got the ball, and he's running to the player.
Where can he go? Where can Wilson go?
What was Callum Wilson supposed to do? Exactly. So it's not a foul. And then for the second goal, like Leon said, like Sessegnon, it's not the first time. Leon knows I've called him out for losing possession and putting us under pressure before, so it's not the first time. And then from there on, like after their two goals, it seemed like they were comfortable, and we played great in the first. Well, I would say great, but we played really well in the first 20 minutes. Had nothing to show for it, and then even when we got back in it, a 2-1 after Kane's header, I couldn't see us getting the equaliser. Just it wasn't going to happen. And even with the subs that come on, I think Leon's right now. And even Conte's right. Like, he's not trusting the players that come on to be able to change and modify the game and make that impact. He's not got the confidence in the players, and I can see why, because I didn't have the confidence in us equalising or even after the goal trying to go on and win. The crowd got up for it. They rallied behind the team, but nothing came. And I know some key players were missing.
Yeah, that's four.
Like Højbjerg.
To be fair, it's four key players though.
Højbjerg's a key player. For me, he's been one of our best players this season. I'm not saying necessarily just the great performances, but I'm talking about just as a leader and what he showed on the pitch. Yeah,
he's a 7 out of 10 at least.
With a few goals.
Pretty much every game.
Yeah, and that was a big miss. Basuma had a better game, but
I didn't think Skip played that badly though. To be fair, I thought Skip was okay. First start. I think is it first starting.
Not bad for his first start, but again, he gave away the ball. I think he gave away the ball for the lead up to the first goal or the second goal. So it's just a disappointing result. The undefeated home record's gone, and they need to pick up now. Like, we've been lucky with some of the results that have happened, but that's brought Newcastle into a race. I told you that Newcastle will be looking top 4. That's brought them back into the race, and we haven't capitalised on Arsenal dropping points. So yeah, it's disappointing.
Credit to Newcastle though, because obviously you guys are fuming, but Newcastle they did a good away job. In all honesty,
they did a good away job.
Fortunate with the first goal, but after the first goal went in, they had some composure with how they played.
Yeah, they did. They did have composure. I'll tell you what, Kieran Trippier was literally enjoying himself out there.
Bro, you guys were booing him like crazy. That's why every time he took a throw, he was taking his time. Now you know how we felt. When we had the conversation about wasting time.
The fans didn't boo him. The fans didn't boo him.
Oh, okay. It sounded like it.
When he came to take the corners and stuff, they was all applauding him and everything.
Is it? Okay, fair enough.
Bro, he was just out there rolling balls, taking the time, just like he was literally taking a piss. He was just enjoying himself, and yeah, fair play to Newcastle. But I don't think they were great. I've seen Newcastle play better this season. But once they got 2-0 up because of the stupidity and the mistakes, like you said, they controlled the game very sensibly, wasted time, pressed at the right times. Got out of situations which I think our press is poor. Like Leon can jump onto that one, but the press is poor. It doesn't seem to work, and teams are getting out of situations that really, if the press is correct, that they shouldn't be able to get out of. And it was light work for Newcastle in the end.
True.
Yeah, we're not good at dealing with the press, and we're also not good at pressing other teams. We haven't been good at pressing other teams since Pochettino left. and that was a specific group of players who had the energy and the know-how, and everyone else knew what their jobs were in how they pressed. Now it feels like you've got one or two people that press, and then the other people are not in a position to, or not putting themselves in a position to cause a mistake from other players being able to press the opposition. So for me, there's just a lack of cohesion when we don't have the ball, and just sitting back and letting teams come onto us. There's only so much that's going to work, and you can't play that way at home. So for me, there's got to be some changes, and I think Conte he needs to outline exactly what he needs, because you know he had the best start of any Tottenham campaign in 40, 50 years,
and then loses
and
two
then
on the
he lost
bounce.
two on the bounce,
Yeah,
literally straight after that. So for me, I think people are unhappy about the style of play and all that sort of stuff. We were playing good football last season, so we know that Conte has it in him to enable the players to do that. But I just don't think at the moment the
you need
team
Kulusevski for his
is
style of play for me. When he plays,
100
when he
100%.
plays,
Yeah,
you play better
completeness.
football.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
But
It was so important for us last year.
yeah. But we move
But
on to Liverpool.
let's move on to Liverpool. Let's get someone else in this.
I was probably more vexed than you guys
Depressed.
were, because I don't know. We've made a habit. We don't lose, but Liverpool have made a habit of the last couple of seasons not beating teams that are sitting in the bottom three. I think last year, I don't think we beat any of the teams that got relegated, home or away. And this year, we've drawn with a promoted team in Fulham, and then we've lost to another promoted team, and it's just not good enough. Yes, last show, I said to you guys, hopefully, touch wood, that Thiago will be fine. And what happens? 5:30 in the morning, he's got an ear infection. Like, come on, man. And then, as you said, Daryl, if Nunes plays, you see him bagging goals. So that was needed, Nunes. And I thought Salah would do it. But they didn't even have to do much. Like,
Let's be honest though. Like both those two players start, you win that game. Let's be realistic.
I'd like to think so. But let's be honest,
definitely.
Liverpool, with the team we put out, yes, we've got two youngsters in there, but we shouldn't be losing to Nottingham Forest, who'd won one game all season. At worst, that should be a draw. And then we're vexed because we've drawn a game to Nottingham Forest, who are bottom of the table. But to lose that game, I mean, they had chances to even beat us by more than 1-0.
Yeah,
Alisson, again, being our player of the season, saved us 2 or 3 times. Yes, Van Dijk had a real... I don't understand why you're literally got a free header on
should have
goal.
had a hat trick. You should have had a hat trick.
It's the first header, though. He has a free header on goal, and he heads it to Firmino.
We've seen that, though. We've seen that, though. Players do that. I get what he's trying to do. It's just he put too much weight on it. He didn't have to...
But
do you know what I mean?
The way I see it, if he heads at goal with the power, then if the goalkeeper parries it, it still gets to Firmino anyway. But if you head it this way and it misses, it's gone. So he had with a header direct at goal, you get 2 chances possibly to score. What he did is only 1 chance, and if you fail, you fail, and he did. Then there's another one was a great save, I think right late at the end. But in all honesty, for us to be relying on set pieces to beat the bottom team in the league, it's not good enough. And I know I've said it over and over again that we need new midfielders, but the other thing we've got to look at as well is we're blooding young players, and it's too many young players. You've got Jones
at the same time.
Jones, Carvalho, and Elliott. You have to trying to blood them all at the same time. Man City are blooding players, and they're bringing in one player that's playing, and he's getting a few minutes. Yes, injuries have caused it, but if we had bought more senior players, got rid of some deadwood, Katie, as I said before, Katie didn't want to be here by the sounds of things, should have sold him. Ox, before he got injured, we should have sold him. Then you bring in 2 other new midfielders that hopefully have reliable injury records, and we're not sitting in the same situation where we're going to a season with the same old players injured as always. Fabinho, man, I think I saw a stat where he's like 62% in tackle success. He's got down to like 40 something.
It's crazy because the Fabinho that we're seeing now is not the Fabinho that we had last season.
I think he's worn out, and we've used him so much that he just doesn't have the legs anymore for him to do what he needs to do. Because he, like I said before, he only ever doesn't play until this season when he wasn't fit.
Mm.
When he got injured, he didn't play. If he was fit, he played. And yes, you can say that's the same with a lot of the other best DMs, but he played 90 minutes most of the time as well. He didn't really have a chance to take him off. Henderson
Nah.
had games where he came on for him and stuff like that, but it's not enough. From time we didn't replace Gini Wijnaldum, who was our fittest centre midfielder, our most active centre midfielder, and the only one that actually got us goals, alarm bells should have been ringing. And I don't know, for me, we're not going to buy in January, so it's even like a moot point, even hoping that we're going to. But if somehow we can get one midfielder in January, it will go a long way to us finishing clearly in the top four. Because the weekend almost went our way. Like we win that game, we're 1 point behind Man U and 2 points behind you guys. I'm Chelsea, sorry. And then this whole can Liverpool get into top four? That's the end of it. Like then it will be a case here. Cool, let's get our points and let's rise up the table. Now there's going to be doubts again
Mm.
because Leeds is our next game, and Leeds are very open. But now teams that open worry me because we're so open. So it's just I don't know. There's so much that we need to do that we get someone injured, another person comes back. So hopefully Kanate is back. As much as I still think Gomez is probably the best partner, it's look like if Kanate is fit this week, he's gonna come back in. And
Yeah,
I feel for Gomez. I shouldn't really care. I should just want the best player to play. But it looked like he turned the corner. And he wasn't terrible in that game, but we lost the game. So it doesn't bode well for him starting the next game.
yeah.
I'm not necessarily sure about that.
I
Because
think
if you
if
think
Kanate was
about
fit,
it,
Kanate will come
the
straight back in.
Yeah, to be
yeah,
honest,
maybe so, but the team didn't play well
Canales
as a
deserves it
whole.
though.
It wasn't Gomez was the reason why
No,
you
I'm
guys
not saying
lost.
that. But he's someone I want to see him playing in our team. And I just thought if he had a good run of games, there's no need to rush Kanate in. And then Gomez can continue getting games, and the the partnership that I like to see will continue. And then you can rotate a bit. So right now it's a case of just play and win. So if it means that we play Kanate and his normal style of play, which is so much more rugged, gets us the wins and makes us more solid, then that's what you've got to do, man. Because even coming up against Ajax, we need a draw. I'm literally hoping we don't get another injury. Hoping we don't get another injury in that game. So that literally have to get something out of that game, so then we don't have to worry about the last game.
Yeah,
So
well, you said about you need midfielders in January, but you brought in Melo. He's injured, obviously. But these
his
players
injury
are going to
record
come.
was terrible as well, though.
Yeah, but these players are going to come back from injury, and especially when you think possibly they're going to have an extended break anyway with the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
Well,
I
how
don't think
it
I
looks
don't think
now,
you're going to.
we're not going to sign because how it looks now, Keita trains today. So Keita's gonna do a preseason. Then Ox actually came off the bench, so Ox is back. Then they're gonna have obviously, barring injury, they'll have the whole of the World Cup to get back fully fit. But let's be honest,
Yeah,
it's Ox and Keita. The World Cup could come back. They can get injured 2 games after we come back again. My worry is they get injured after the January window. Even though I don't think we're going to sign anyone, but it'd be even worse if they're fully fit through the whole of January and then they get injured because then it's like we've wasted an opportunity. But like you said, we're not going to buy anyone because like I even forgot we had Melo. So he's going to come back. He's going to come back in 4 months, and it's going to be like, yeah, we've got Melo. It's just I watched the video again of Klopp saying we've got Milner, we've got this midfielder, we've got that midfielder. What do we need? What do we have missing? And the fatal thing that we have missing is players that can actually play week after week. Forget
Yeah,
bodies.
it's
We don't have players that can
consistency. Yeah,
actually get on the pitch and
yeah,
stay at the treatment room.
yeah.
So there's no point naming guys that aren't going to be fit. And that everyone in the whole of the Premier League and the whole of the world knows that aren't going to be fit for the whole season. That's just useless to us. This is useless as a chocolate teapot, as my old manager used to say. So I don't know, man. I'm just hoping. Listen, I've said it. Every time I predicted a win for us, next game coming up, we haven't won. So there's no more predictions from me for our upcoming games. I'm just gonna say, let's just hope we do well. That's what you're gonna get from me. I'm not gonna say we'll beat them because of this. No. That talk's gone because I'm hearing people say that they think the Liverpool players are arrogant. That how we've played over the last few years has got to their heads, and they're not waking up to see that they're in a crisis and that they need to wake up because teams have found us out and they're not giving us the chances they've given us before. No, they're giving us the respect that we've earned. That respect is now eroded. But I think I've gone on enough of a rant. So I think we just, excuse me, we need to move on to Man City's game. But as I'm about to cough, I'll let you guys continue.
Well, Haaland's back on the trail. Made up for. He's trying to keep out that goal to game ratio. Obviously, one penalty, one good finish, an assist from a Brazilian goalkeeper.
Another one, another Brazilian goalkeeper.
Different Brazilian goalkeeper.
You know how
James.
The number two Brazilian goalkeeper.
There's only one Brazilian goalkeeper that can do assists, but Edison's proved him wrong this week. Although some of us would say that was potentially a foul by Haaland.
I think it was.
I think
it was behind him. It was behind him and he pushed him.
Not even just that. But he uses his forearm. He uses his forearm in his side. It's a push.
But I think they're so overruled by Haaland mania that they forgot there was a foul. And it was like, look at this steam train go. Oh, and he scores as well. Yep. Goal.
I don't know how much Brian protested the goal, but
they didn't really.
Resigned.
Webster felt like he'd been violated, man. He's like, oh, man, this guy just bullied me. That's how he looked like.
Yeah, basically.
He got bullied by this kid.
It's the same. He's a beast.
Trossard, good goal. Nice finish. Goalkeeper getting beaten near post. Should it happen? I'm not sure, but the shot was very good there. I'm not going to lie.
Not from there. Not from
that.
We
spoke about Trossard last week as well, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
He said, put me in front and I'll score goals, or closer to the goal and I'll get goals.
And then KDB just rapping.
That goal was just ridiculous.
KDB rapping one.
Oh, man.
He does. He had a quite a quiet game before to that point, really. But yeah, it was only a matter of time before he either assisted or got a goal. And yeah, it was a confident performance by City. I think Brighton's the kind of team that they like to play, though. A team that's going to come try and play football against them and try and go toe-to-toe. City love that. So, they jumped back on their winning trail. Haaland jumped back on the goal trail, and yeah, that's back to basics for them. And they've made up points on Arsenal after their result, which we can go into.
This is just one stat that you very, very rarely see. Bournemouth actually had more passes and more possession than Man City did.
You mean Brighton?
So Brighton, sorry, yeah, Brighton.
Yeah.
52% possession. Yes, they lost the game, but you don't see that. Their pass accuracy, their passes, and their possession was higher than Man City's. You just don't see that.
That's what Brighton's about. Yeah. That's what Brighton's about.
Even still, though, even when they play Brighton,
because of Brighton being that way, the game was to and fro.
Yeah,
so you're not going to get one team sit back and let City come at them and dominate that possession and that passing stats. It's not going to happen because Brighton don't play that style. They're going to come. They're going to try and play because their style of play works home and away for them.
Yeah, so, it
does. That's why. But yeah, on to the Arsenal
game. They're very good under pressure, so it helps, man.
True.
They know how to keep possession, unlike Tottenham. Anyway, that's enough.
Yeah, but Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. Boy, there's a Jekyll and Hyde match. Boy. I'd say Southampton rode their luck a lot for that game. Arsenal should have been gone clear really in the game.
It was even. After the second half, when the second half kicked off, it was even. It's almost like they thought, you know what? I think they've thrown the best at us,
Yeah,
and I
and
think
we've
we can take
absorbed it.
this. We can take it.
Yeah,
And
we've
they came
absorbed it.
out, and they're like, "Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Let's do this." It was a good goal as well, because I think
Yeah.
I'll give credit to Elliot Nusi, because it looked like he was gonna go right and shoot with his left foot, so go left and shoot with his left foot,
Yeah.
and the cute little pass in there, and it's actually a good finish as well. So
Yeah.
credit was due, man.
Elliot Nusi had a really good game actually.
Yeah, I think he could give a man in the match.
Yeah, he caused. Did he? Okay, yeah, he deserved it because he caused them a lot of problems there. To be honest with you, Arsenal first half should have been out of sight, but once the second half started, it seemed like a completely different game. Southampton grew into the game, and when they got the goal, they actually looked like the team that was going to potentially go on and win it. So, but I think 1-1 was a fair result. And yeah, Arsenal have dropped points. City seem like the only ones who have really benefited, which is crazy, really.
But it's what we needed. Being well, for you definitely, guys, as Tottenham fans, with you guys dropping points, the last thing you wanted to see was that. So we'll see. Maybe other teams will have a look, because at the moment, Xhaka, I have to give credit to Xhaka. Xhaka is killing it right now, because even
Scored his
in
weaker
Europa
foot as
midweek,
well.
once again,
He don't normally have a right peg.
nah,
Scoring with his weaker foot as well.
Nice. Ben White
looking for that right back spot for England.
Yeah, looking for that spot. Yeah, well, Arsenal still looked good. They just didn't put this game away.
Yeah,
strangely for once. And Southampton deserved to get something out of it, so I think it was a fair result in the end. To be honest with you,
I don't think they'll be too troubled either by the draw. They got something out of the game, Arsenal, and they'll look at.
Yeah,
they've got Nottingham Forest next week, and they'll probably do what we can. Yes, it's at home for them, but they'll probably put them to the sword. In all honesty, so they'll just keep it rolling.
and if you're going to drop points, you drop points at a time where really
no one capitalizes.
Not everyone capitalizes.
Yeah.
Obviously, City capitalized, but not everyone, because Chelsea United 1-1 game.
It was a weird game. It was a weird game because
I would say I felt like it was a bore fest, but it wasn't really. It wasn't really a bore fest.
Man United with a better team.
Yeah.
Man United with a better team.
So again,
Definitely.
I think Man United were a better team in the first half. Well, first part of the half. When Potter took off Cucurella, then it evened up a bit. Because you got to give him credit for that. Because I never knew he had that in him.
Yeah, United had the better chances as well. Really.
Yeah, I guess.
That game. And when Chelsea went ahead, obviously for a penalty,
you thought it was over.
Me personally. Yeah, clear penalty for me. And you kind of thought, well, like, wow, Chelsea have stolen one here, but yeah, it wasn't obviously it wasn't to be. And
that's worrying though, that Man United's, because that's what you don't want. You don't want Man United to get that, you know what, never say die attitude. You don't want them to get that added to their game.
I didn't care, because the draw for me, it was
a good result.
I was begging for that draw. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then we go and do our nonsense on the Sunday. But anyway,
I think I was disheartened from the beginning anyway.
Well, that's what happens if you lose the early kickoff.
Man,
like they put the whole weekend in shock for everyone.
Trust me, I didn't care.
No one was expecting that from that game, but yeah. So yeah, it's a like you said, it's a very tactical game. And ended ultimately in a stalemate. But
both managers won it towards the end. I think in the end they both tried not to lose it. In the end, it was too close.
Yeah, it seemed that way. Yeah.
Ronaldo, do you reckon it made a difference if he hadn't stormed off last week and could have been on the bench to come on?
You know what? At 1-1 in a game like that,
you bring him on, right?
With his experience and stuff like that, that could make all the difference in a game like that. Sorry, no, at 0-0, not 1-1.
Yeah, 0-0.
Finished 1-1. At 0-0.
What do you think of the whole thing, though? Do you think that Ten Hag is right to
100,000,000%,
that he wants?
100,000,000%.
Leon, you know, Real Madrid fan through and through from my Spanish team out there in La Liga. And when Ronaldo was there, I told you about him and his attitude, and I respect the guy as a player and the work rate that he put in to be one of the best in the world, one of the top 2 in the world. But this kind of behaviour, it's not a surprise for him. It's just that he's at a club now where he can't get his own way, and they're not winning games. So rather than dig in, be that senior figure and push the rest of the team, he's going on like he's flipping a child. It's, got his dummy taken away from him. It's a bit of a joke, really. So, and you're trying to undermine, like, you're supposed to love United. That's why you came back. You're supposed to love United, and you're undermining the manager that is trying to build the next succession for the club. So it's a bit disrespectful, really. So I think Ten Hag is in his right to just deal with him. But what's going to happen? Where's he going to go in January? He's going to take a risk on him.
Someone Sporting might come in for him. And the day he can go back home for a little while before he goes to MLS, because he wants to play Champions League still. And if he can help Sporting win the Portuguese league, then he can get back into Champions League and hopefully, in his eyes, continue scoring before he goes to MLS. Because I think he'll end up at MLS. I can't see him ending his career in Europe. Because he's going to be hunting goals as well. Yeah, for now he has.
He thinks he still deserves to be at a top club, and that's why he's probably acting in this way. I agree with you. I don't think it's right. I think he needs to accept the role that he's been given because of his age. He knows himself that he can't do the work off the ball that is required of him to still be an effective in goal scoring positions. So realistically, he needs to try and find a way to, I guess, while he's there, because we don't know how long he's going to end up being there. There's rumours that he might go in January, or they might let him go in January. But he wants to play in the World Cup. He needs to find a way to coexist in the current Man United.
It's only 3 weeks. It's only 3 weeks to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So that doesn't even matter anymore.
Left. Well, at least we'll know he'll be injury free anyway.
Yeah.
It's an interesting one because we've seen Zlatan do it and still be effective and do it despite age. So
despite Zlatan's ego, he still knows what's right.
Yeah.
And how to behave on a pitch. Whereas Ronaldo, you can't tell him no. And he doesn't believe. Obviously, he believes the best, and he believes that his time is not here yet. Whereas Zlatan accepted, okay, cool, you know what? I'm not what I was before, but I can still contribute. So if it means I'm going to contribute in this way, then I'll contribute in this way. And I don't think Ronaldo's going to realize that until he gets. Well, I don't think he ever will, because he's now just going to have to go to a team that will play for him, and whether that's in Portugal, whether that's in America. He's got to be the main star, and unfortunately, Man United are a better team, it seems, without him.
Yeah,
on the pitch. But it's hopefully he still causes them problems and causes chaos in the change room for a little bit longer. No one comes through in January. But
final game on Saturday, Everton surprise 3-0 home victory against Crystal Palace. And what a performance! Jeez, did not see that one.
It's made my day even worse, man. We go and do that, and then Everton play the best game they've played in 2022. I was like, come on, man! And the goals, the goal from what's his name, from Dwight McNeil
or McNeil.
McNeil's goal. Yeah, Lewis' goal was decent,
Jeez.
but McNeil's goal, the football. I mean, we spoke about Iwobi before, and a new lease of life. That was quality.
That
was quality.
The touchback, delightful. The finish was good as well. VAR come good in that game.
Oh,
like I don't know what the linesman was seeing when he tried to flag Gordon offside. Like finally, that's what VAR's supposed to be for. He He must have
He
been twice.
blinked when that shot happened, and he
He,
didn't realise.
he must have been twice, bro.
Look like this, bro. I've not even blinked
Bro, I don't know
twice.
what he did.
Yeah, but he must have
But
dozed off like. What happened there? Like,
how they couldn't
offside.
get in front.
Yeah.
Basically.
But I think
But
it's what you
yeah.
said, though, because they know they got VAR, they know they can get away with it. They can
like,
put it. As in, they can just put it up, and then if he's on, it doesn't matter because VAR will show us it's a goal anyway.
no, that's that. If he
That's
puts it up there, that's an admission of you wasn't concentrating.
Yeah.
Because like that was nowhere near offside, and that's what VAR is supposed to be used for.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's what VAR is supposed to be used for. So yeah, well done there. It's an easy one for them, obviously, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, well done, Everton. 3-0 home victory. Palace, bit of a shock to the system there. They've been
Palace just
playing
can't
so well.
I think they can't get it right. They can't just get a consecutive run going.
Yeah, I think. Do you know what? I think Everton were more for the battle as well. They was
Yeah.
up for the battle in that game.
And they're quite good at home, isn't it? They have been since
Yeah.
he got there. He's managed to get them to perform. So more power to him.
Oh well, the next one. What can we say about Aston Villa? No manager bounce. Like wow, what is that all about?
It says a lot, I think, about Gerrard.
So what that they can come out and perform like that?
You know when
like
people often say he's lost the changing room, and you're like, what does that mean?
You reckon that's the case?
I think it was the case because I don't think
The-
the lineup
the-
was. I don't think the lineup was much different.
Well, the result says that was the case, but wow, surely like that means those guys must have been down in tools, boy, because that performance was blockbuster.
But then you look for what the two key. I think there's two key things that I saw. McGinn was dropped. The new captain was dropped.
Completely.
And Ramsey, who Gerrard has been playing consistently, and he's backed to the hill. He was dropped as well. And they're two guys that Gerrard went to the hill on. They played all the time, and he never seemed to drop them for performance, even when things were going wrong. So maybe that's what it needed, because they went with a different midfield, and they went with you know what, Ings, you're going up front. And when Gerrard has played with Ings and how can I forget his name?
Watkins.
Yeah, Watkins. Watkins always played on the
Watkins,
left, but he put Bailey on the left. Went the coach, and he put Watkins on the right, so they had the natural left and right. They're not inverted, and it seemed to help because Bailey had a really good game, not having to cut in, going wide, and getting crosses in. And Watkins had a good game there as well. So I don't know.
Yeah, both scored as well.
Exactly. So changing room seemed
Yes, a bit crazy. I just thought a bit crazy. Ings, who we've been talking about the last couple of weeks, saying where's he been? He hasn't performed, hasn't scored. 2 goals.
a goal in 2 minutes as well.
But yeah, that was such a surprising performance. Like you wouldn't have thought they were in a relegation battle, and their manager just got sacked from that performance, boy.
Brentford have it in them
crazy
to lose games like that.
Yeah,
they do.
They do, but
it's just so unexpected.
No.
And then obviously hearing the news today,
they were poor. In all honesty, they made it easy for Aston Villa, especially the way Aston Villa started. You have to be ready for a battle because they went for their next early doors. They scored a couple really early goals, and
I think two goals in 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, something like that. But it's 3 goals in 15 minutes, so they started like a house on fire, and they conceded a hell of a lot more chances after that.
Yeah, they've had chances to do that in games this season, and haven't put them away.
Yeah, it's true. You're right, actually.
But it's crazy because even like listening to some of the interviews afterwards, saying, "Oh yeah, we owed that kind of performance to the fans." Like, there's no talk of Gerrard. It's very strange. Like,
yeah, but you're not going to talk about the former manager, especially when you got a guy taking over, obviously interim or whatever. And I think they've already announced who's taking over.
Yeah, Unai Emery.
Unai Emery, yeah.
They paid €7 million to get him out of his contract.
Yeah, it's a good appointment by them. I'm not going to lie. It's a good appointment by them. I'm surprised.
To be honest, they've got a better manager. let's just be real about it. They've brought in a better
Yeah,
manager.
it's true. Yeah, true. I thought Gerrard would have had more time, but obviously he got sacked just after we finished our last show last week.
But yeah, no. We literally
and
came offline and we're like, oh, wow, he's been sacked.
yeah, that was a bit crazy. Where does Gerrard go from here now? What do you think, James? Because
Well, I heard Gary Neville say that he thinks he should get on, like, don't take a break. He should just straight away get another job as quick as possible. Whereas Klopp said he thinks he should take a break. He hasn't stopped since he stopped playing football. Under 18s, then Rangers, then on to Aston Villa. Maybe he needs to take a break and actually see, I don't know, maybe he does need to actually look at his coaching setup and what's gone wrong and how it went so wrong. Because, like I said last week, I think he won 12 games in 38. That's not good. And in the end of it, yes, 4 of his signings and 3 of them are starters. New centre back got injured, Kamara got injured, and left back Luka Dean. They were key players for him, all injured. He needs to work it out because he also lost his assistant manager, which he probably never expected. And he needs to now find maybe more experienced coaches around him that have been more senior football. Because even Critchley, who he brought in, was mainly a youth team coach, and then he went to Blackpool and did a decent job at Blackpool. But he's most of his time been a youth team coach at Liverpool. So maybe he needs to look at his backroom team.
Has this tarnished the chance of him ever becoming Liverpool manager?
I don't think so. But at the same time, I don't think I want him as a Liverpool manager yet. It's a lot of years, like not after Klopp. So I'm expecting Klopp to be there for another 4 or 5 years. And then someone else after Klopp. So he's still got 10, 15 years before he can ever become Liverpool manager. So you never know. But going on from 1-4-0 to another 4-0, that was also unexpected. Wolves getting smashed up by Leicester. We said we didn't think that it will take too long for Rodgers to recover, and it looks like he started off well.
Yeah, it was a good game. What a goal by
Derby of
Yuri
sorts.
Tillsman.
Yeah, oh wow.
Yuri Tillsman. What a goal. Goal of the month for me. Wow. Finish.
Better than De Bruyne's?
Postage stamp. Yeah. Postage stamp. Off the post and in. Like, come on. Yeah, that's
he's body as well,
isn't it?
And then Harvey.
Yeah, man, he scored a hell of a lot of bangers for Leicester.
Yeah. James even said, like, again, I know James loves his midfielders.
We should have bought him in the summer, and we won't go. We won't.
It's going to be a free. This going to be in a free this summer, so
we won't be in the race.
I'm sure he's going to have a lot of suitors, unless Rodgers can gas him into signing a new contract.
I think you guys should be hunting for it, bro. Because especially if you get Champions League, you should be going all out to get him.
I think so, but you know, we just don't.
Yeah, I can't see.
We don't seem to bag those free transfers, those key free transfers that people tend to get. It's never us in the running, man. So I can't see it, if I'm being honest.
My boy Harvey Barnes doing his thing again on the score sheet again.
It's a nice goal as well, you know.
Yep.
And Madison's still rolling it.
And Jamie Vardy. Vardy chipping in.
Finally gets his first goal of the season, Vardy.
Yeah, chipping in.
The kid from having Red Bull on the sideline. Guy's never going to change, man. Never going to change.
So
that's his go-to.
It's a good result. Obviously, Wolves seem to be faltering now, and they could be starting to look under pressure as one of those teams that might be looking downwards. So
I don't know what's taking so long to get a manager.
They need a coach.
I mean,
they need a coach soon, man.
They keep getting turned down.
Yeah, but right.
It's not the most attractive club to go to. I mean, they are a well-run team, but you know, it's not a fashionable name. It's, you know, they've got a lot of players that have been bought for the previous regime.
Yeah.
So anyone coming in is gonna need to quickly adapt to how
but they've got talent,
the players at their disposal. 100% they've got talent, but their problem has been scoring goals, and that's been a problem since last season. They've had, you know, since Raul Jimenez got his head injury and
Injury,
they
yeah.
lost Sol
Haven't been able to
Jota,
score.
they've
Yeah.
really struggled to score. So it's been a big loss for them. They put in Diego Costa, but he's getting on a bit now.
He's doing well though.
and
He's getting chances. He's
he's
getting to
playing
the right
right.
places and stuff. He just needs to find the back of the net. To be honest, I reckon.
One goes in, then he might do well.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 more games to go. Leeds, Fulham, which was topsy-turvy. Leeds taking the lead and them thinking, yep, this is all good. To Fulham then powering forward. Mitrovic, I mean, come on. Are you going to let Mitrovic near post headed like that? So easy.
Yeah.
And so soon after
Doesn't
you
make
score as well.
sense.
Yeah.
Just poor defending. I think that's Leeds all over, in honesty. Even when you see the
It's
midweek
poor
game, it's
defending
poor
since
defending
Bielsa
again.
days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Since
crazy.
Bielsa days.
Leeds play so well. They get a goal up. They look like they're dominating the match. Then they concede, and it just completely flip flops and turns around.
Yeah.
I just don't know what happened.
Like the 3-2 scoreline makes it look a bit closer than it was, and it really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
No.
But again,
Fulham
Leeds
are
had
looking good,
chances. Yeah, Fulham are looking good. Look, they're top half of the table, European contention at the moment.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, wow.
It's early.
What are you kissing teeth for? Are they
make good
above you,
signings.
James?
They're not above us, but in fact they are. They're 7th, we're 8th now.
Oh.
They are above us.
So that's them kissing the
They
teeth.
make clever
For
signings.
We've got a game in hand.
no, they did well. Points in the bag, bro. Points in the bag.
We've got a game in hand.
Yeah, for them, they got survival is key because they've been up and down.
Yeah.
After one
They're not
season,
getting
they really
relegated.
want to stay up.
Nah, they've shown enough.
Yeah.
And the key thing for them is and you're seeing the problem. The teams at the bottom are the teams that don't have a proven goal scorer,
Yep.
someone that's going to bag the goals for you, get you at least 12 to 15 goals a season. They've got that with Mitrovic, and they've got some creative players as well that will chip in the goal. William has been really good in the last 2 games.
Surprised me.
So yeah, no.
I thought it might have been done.
So yeah,
He's back in West London, man. That's why he didn't like coming north. He went to
Yeah.
Arsenal. But he's back in the west side.
You think about it, Williams played for 3 London clubs now. 3, or technically you could say, well, he signed for 4 London clubs technically.
Well, you guys, yeah.
He did.
Yeah,
And then
He didn't sign.
did it
That was
dirty.
the
He
problem.
didn't sign.
bruv, I don't know.
He didn't get a signature. That's the reason why.
He made a verbal
I
You
heard-
turn down the pen. I'm going to sign
I
it.
heard the contracts are signed and contracts got ripped up or something like that, bro.
That's
No.
mad.
But yeah, so yeah, final result was Monday Night Football, which we just watched. West Ham against Bournemouth, and West Ham coming away with a nice home victory, 2-0. I don't know, I don't know what it is.
Fortune.
I don't know what it is.
How's that not?
It's not fortune, bro. I don't know what it is, but West Ham
How's that not the sellout?
at West Ham at the Olympic
London
Stadium,
Stadium.
whatever you don't want to call it, like they getting some real decisions like run their way, boy, because there's so many goals that they scored at home should have been disallowed this season, and another one today. Like how is that not a handball? Like,
It's because because the goal scorer didn't handball it. That's why. That's the new rules, isn't it? But I'm pretty sure the other rules were.
But he kept the ball. I thought the ball was if it leads to a
he
goal.
moved his arm.
That's what
to the
I
ball.
thought. If it leads to a goal,
But no, they said if it's direct, it wasn't direct because he moves his arm to the ball, which should have been disallowed anyway. And then someone had an opportunity to header it out. He didn't header it far enough, and then he comes back in again. So they've probably seen it as a different phase. I don't agree with it, but they probably seen it is when he gets headed out. That's the end of that phase. But it doesn't leave the penalty box, so it should still be the same phase. Then he gets headed back in.
that's what I'm saying. We're talking about a penalty box melee,
Yeah.
like
It's
ping
crazy.
pong left, right, and center. Like, how is that not part of that phase? Like, that's West Ham got away. The West Ham will go away with so many handballs this season.
Yeah, it's a joke.
It's unbelievable. It's crazy. And then again, a penalty for their second goal. That I feel probably was a penalty. He's sliding in.
In the new rules, it is because of
Yeah, in
where
the
his
new
hands
rules, it
are.
is. It's hard though, isn't it? Like,
But
yeah,
where are your hands
it's
going to
hard.
be when you slide in like that?
Yeah,
Where are your hands
when you
going to be?
sliding like, you're not gonna slide in with
It's
your hands
key.
down like by your sides.
I think the problem is Aspilicueta started doing that. He started sliding with his hands behind his back. So now they probably think it's possible. He used to dive with his hands behind his
Bro,
back, and now they probably think it's
that
possible. So they think, okay, yeah, cool. Why
yeah.
didn't they do that then?
Eric Dyer is constantly doing it. We'll watch Eric Dyer in our games, isn't it, Leon? Eric Dyer in our games, always hands behind his back, trying to block a goal with his hands behind his back. You're like, do you
Yeah, and he
not
doesn't block nothing.
know?
That's the
Do
problem.
you know not what you're showing? What position your body's in? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous, man.
But
But
in all honesty, though, I think West
those
Ham,
are the rules.
on the
Now.
performance, West Ham deserved it. Unlucky injuries, goalkeeper getting injured, and striker getting injured while trying to
Yeah, well, they
score.
needed that. They needed that because there was. I think there was in the bottom four, bottom five
Yeah,
before that
they
match,
took him
so
up.
they needed that.
Took him up to 10th.
Wow, see that's goes to show how
Table's tight, man.
yeah,
Telling
that
you,
mid-table down is crazy.
Listen, it's 9, 9, 9, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 13, 14, 14 up to 10th, 15th, 15, 15 and 16.
Yeah,
Takes you
crazy.
to 8th place. That's mad. So, well, it's been a good, a good weekend for some, but not for us. So let's hope we have a better weekend next weekend.
Yeah, is it prediction, James?
Nah, I hope we do what we should do. That's as much as I'm gonna say. We've
Well,
got
I'll give you that,
Leeds.
because we better do what we should do as well. I think we're away to
No
Bournemouth.
way to Bournemouth.
If I'm right,
Last time we played there though, Leon, you remember the nonsense? It wasn't a good
Yeah.
result. So like these guys need to turn up. We've got Champions League games weekend this week coming. Next 2 days.
Very important game.
Europa League for other teams and stuff like that as well, and conference. But yeah, next weekend. It's, like you said, James, it's getting close to the World Cup,
yeah,
so we start bankering some of these points
trust me,
again.
got to close that
Get
gap.
into some.
Well,
Yeah,
I hope
exactly.
I'm not right, but we'll test my theory. Leeds are in the bottom 3, so let's see. Let's see if the record of us playing teams in the bottom 3 and not winning continues. If it
We're gonna
happens
win
next
at home,
week,
man.
then I give up, man. I give up.
We're gonna win at home.
But yeah, cool. Let us, me and
Alright.
Leon, get some lemsip or whatever we need into us and get
Trust
ready,
me.
and we'll be better by next week. But thanks, guys, and thank you guys for watching, and continue to watch, continue to share, and get other people to subscribe. Peace out from me.
Catch you there from
Yeah.
me.